Thank you for joining McLean Islamic Center's weekly youth Halaqah. Today, Brother Khairul Alam will be speaking about cybersecurity and mental health as related to our current circumstances with COVID-19. Brother Khairul Alam will just begin in just a few seconds.
Bismillah wa salatu wa salam ala rasulillah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. How's everyone doing? Your family and friends. I'm excited to be with you here today. All the youth, I've missed you guys a lot at the center, but we're in high spirits, inshallah. We're going to continue with our youth halaqah. And today is a very, very special, near and dear topic to me, cybersecurity and mental health, inshallah. So let's get started right away. Today's agenda, inshallah, in the name of Allah, the most beneficent, the most merciful. Topics for today's virtual halaqah. Okay, we're going to skim through what COVID-19 is. Now, by now, most of you guys, whether you're a 3-year-old child or 65-year-old, grandparent or whoever you are, you pretty much know about COVID-19, all right? But we're going to go over a little bit, and then we're going to look at the Islamic mindset and etiquette that we should have. And then we're going to go over cybersecurity. I'm going to come from the angle of the youth today, cybersecurity. Now, we could talk about so many things when it comes to cybersecurity, but I try to gear this towards the youth. But I can answer questions, inshallah. It's the presentation first, and then we have a game, and then we have questions. So if we have deeper questions, we can answer that later on. Then we're going to go to mental health. Then we're going to talk about spiritual, mental, emotional well-being. And then we have a Kahoot game. That's right. Prize for the first place winner is going to be a $25 Amazon card. Now, those who are watching this on Facebook Live, I think Sister Khadija will share the link, or someone will share the link, so you guys could actually join the game. And you guys, the prize is up for grabs as well. So usually we just do it for the Zoom family, but today we'll open it up, inshallah. So pay attention, okay, until the end, because we're going to have this game at the end, all right? So bismillah. Hope everyone's doing well. I think everybody is in. Let's start. COVID-19. So again, most of you guys already know, right? This disease, COVID-19, is a respiratory illness that can spread from person to person. Things are changing, every day. What I want to say, talking about this, whether we talk about the symptoms, or how it actually spreads, or what it's doing right now, or how many people are affected. Before they said it was a 1-to-3 ratio. Now they say, just like the flu is, if one person gets affected, another person, it can spread to another person. Now they're saying 1 to 5 or 6, right? So things are changing. What I want to mention about information on COVID is, when you go to your sources, make sure they're authoritative sources, okay? Don't just willy-nilly take information from people and spread it as well. So we do know it's affecting the lungs. It's a lung infection, and it's affecting almost everyone. We are all affected throughout the globe. And I'm pretty sure you guys know about the hadith of a beautiful example that the Prophet, peace be upon him, told us about. He said, think about a ship, okay? And there's 2 decks. And the people on the first deck keep on going to the people on the second deck to request for some water. And there comes a time where the people on the first deck, they're like, you know what? I've had enough. We've had enough. We don't want to go to the second floor anymore. We're going to do it our own way. So they put a hole in the boat. And now the people on the second floor, they're looking at this, they're watching this, and they're just, they become complacent as well. So they don't do anything about it. They don't they don't go down to fix it or rectify the situation. And guess what? They end up all drowning, right? And so we see that this is affecting everyone, right? My action, your action can actually affect the whole world. A minority group, their actions can affect the whole globe. And so we are all in this together, okay? That's something I want you to keep in mind. When it comes to the Islamic mindset, yes, before we go into cybersecurity and before we go into mental health, I want to talk about our mindset, inshallah. It's our belief in Allah, to believe that His promises are true, okay? And with that comes a couple of things that we need to have embedded within our hearts, our beliefs. Number one is trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "A'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. قل لن يصيبنا إلا ما كتب الله لنا هو مولانا وعلى الله فليتوكل المؤمنون. Say, only what Allah has decreed will happen to us. He is our master. Let the believers put their trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah also says, وَمَن يَتَوَكَّلْ عَلَى اللَّهِ فَهُوَ حَسْبُهُ. Allah will be enough for those who put trust in Him. We cannot stress this fact enough, my dear brothers and sisters. We do need to have trust in Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. That's where we start. Everything begins with Allah and everything ends with His name, inshallah. So we want to start today with His name. We want to have the right mindset when going into speaking on specific topics, especially during these times where we need our faith more than anything else. Number two, pleasure with Allah's decree. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has written every single thing. Inna kulla shay'in khalaqana biqadar. We have created all things in a manner which is predestined, right? So we need to know that this was the qadar of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Next mindset. Now what else do we have? Patience and gratitude. Always, always. Patience and gratitude are the two states of the believer that we should always be in. We thank Allah for the ease that we have. We also are patient during the times of difficulty, And now that we're in our homes, we know how, we took the masjids for granted. We took the Friday khutbah for granted. The Taraweeh in Ramadan, may Allah open our masajids up, inshallah. Say Ameen, even though I can't hear you, but say Ameen. And so we're patient in knowing that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is rewarding us for our intentions, even though we cannot achieve it through our actions, right? And then everybody knows this hadith, right? It's an amazing affair for the Muslim. Why? Because every single thing is good for them. It's always good. And this is for the believer. When ease comes, they are grateful, and that is best for them. And when difficulty strikes, they are patient, and that is best for them. So remember this, my dear brothers and sisters. Number four, reflection and turning back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Allah says in the Quran, Ya ayyuhan nasu antumul fuqara'u ila Allah, wallahu huwal ghaniyyul hamid. O people, it is you who stand in need of Allah. Allah is rich from all needs and is worthy of all praise. This is the time we need to understand. You know what I often say sometimes? The only way forward is to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. The only way we can move forward is to go back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. It is the time of repentance. It is the time to open up our hearts, to shed a tear. Before it even drops on the ground, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will forgive us. But it is upon us to take that time in seclusion, in quarantine, and to open up our hearts, to raise our hands, and to turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Yes. Because Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says in the next verse that is shown over here, that He will not punish them while they seek forgiveness. No. Allah says in another part of the Quran, it's not up here, but ظهر الفساد في البر والبحر بما كسبت أيدي الناس ليذيقهم بعد الذي عملوا لعلهم يرجعون. Corruption has spread throughout the earth and in the land and in the sea due to what the hands of people have brought forth. So Allah lets them taste the punishment of the consequences of what they did, so that they could turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So that's the main goal, my dear brothers and sisters, that we turn back to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. Do not take this as a small matter, inshallah. The next thing, thinking good about Allah, husnul dhan billah. We have to think good about Allah, right? Allah is to you what you think about Him. And we know many a hadith of this matter. And then lastly, seeing the opportunity. In every single calamity, there's opportunity. In every single calamity. And one of the most often misconstrued verses, إِنَّ مَعَ الْعُسْرِ يُسْرًا. People are still saying, verily after every hardship is ease. No, 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 no. Verily with the hardship comes ease, right? So you lost something, you lost a job, you can still breathe. You still have children. One of your family members are affected, but you still have other people to help you out. Still have three other children who are so supportive of you, So I know it's difficult, but we must see the future with our hearts because we have iman in them, inshallah. So see the opportunity in the calamity, okay? Certain etiquettes before we move on. The dua and azkar. Whoever says the following 3 times, and I know, my dear brothers and sisters, you might have come across this in other lectures and whatnot, but this was given to us 1400 years ago. If it's only Corona that's making us wake up in the morning and reciting our azkars and at night, it's fine, no doubt, that's great. But we were supposed to already have done this every single day. We're supposed to be remembering Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala every single day. It's a blessing. It's a blessing that now, all right, we have something reminding us, but this should be in your daily planner. doing this. Before you, and some parents do this. They have a way where they tell their children, you cannot, even in the weekend, you cannot open up anything before you do your adhkar. So what is one of the adhkars that we can do? Bismillahi alladhi la yadurru ma'a ismihi shay'un fil ard wala fis sama'i wa huwa as-sami'ul 'alim. In the name of Allah, with whose name nothing in the heavens or the earth can harm. He is all hearing, all knowing. Another dua you can make, the dua of Prophet Yunus alayhi salam, when he was in the belly of the whale, he said, La ilaha illa anta subhana inni kuntu minal zalimin. None has the right to be worshipped but you. Glory be to you. Oh Allah, I was wrong. I was wrong. Indeed, I made the mistake, right? I'm to blame, right? Seeking Allah's protection from illness and disease. Now, this is more specific, and you can say this anytime you want. Allahumma inni a'udhu bika min al-barasi wal-budhami wal-jununi wa min sayyi al-atfal. Oh Allah, I seek your protection from leprosy, paralysis, insanity, and all evil diseases. Yes. And then lastly, to make a supplication that Prophet, peace be upon him, would make every morning and every evening, in which he would say, Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afiyata fi dunya wal-akhirah. Allahumma inni as'aluka al-afwa wal-afiyata fi dini wa dunyaya wa ahli wa mali. Allahumma astur awrati wa amin rawati. اللهم احفظني من بين يدي ومن خلفي وعن يميني وعن شمالي ومن فوقي وأعوذ بعظمتك أن أغتال من تحت. Oh Allah, I ask you for safety in this life and in the hereafter. Oh Allah, I ask you for pardon and safety in my religion, in my worldly affairs, in my family, in my wealth. Oh Allah, conceal my faults. I have so many of them, Allah. Conceal it, please. And grant safety to my fears. Oh Allah, protect me from what's in front of me, what's to the right of me, what's to the left of me, what's behind me, what's above me, and what comes from beneath me. And so these are adhkar, just very few of the many that we have from the Sunan. Number 2, acts of goodness. Continuing that, many of our scholars and ulama have said that this is how you stop give in charity. Do something good. Say a good word. Say a good word to your family members. Call someone up and just say something nice, right? And it might actually take away the affliction. Engage in your night prayers. Some people are boss in doing this. Our grandmothers and grandfathers, subhanAllah, the amount of energy that they had staying up at night, right? We talk the talk, we don't walk the walk, we don't even stand the stand. And our grandmothers and grandfathers, we learn so much from them, where they can stay up the whole night. All we need is 2 rakats, and we can't even do that. So I encourage you, my dear brothers and sisters, and I speak to myself first, that we try our hardest to at least once, maybe in this time of the corona scare, wake up in the middle of the night when all doors are closed. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has us open. Cover your food and drink, be kind and gracious, abide by the public health and government policies. Now, we're big in this. My sister works for the EPA. We're really big in this. Abide by public health and government guidelines. Everybody's going to say what they want to say. You follow what you can follow when it comes to authoritative, guidance, okay? And so that's that. The accountability of words, verbal and written. Make sure you know that you got something on the left and something on the right of you, writing down your deeds and your words, and those are the angels. On the day of judgment, you're going to open your book and you're going to see 2020 coronavirus time. On such and such date, I said this to my mother. On such and such date, I said that to my father. I shouldn't have said this. In this page, it says that I actually cursed. I shouldn't have done that. I should have filled my book with more adhkar and with more dua. And so just be aware that we have all the time in the world, but our mouth, right? It's continuing to run. It's continuing to say. It's continuing to speak. So remember that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that if you don't have anything good to say, then do not say it all. Say it at all, inshallah. Okay? So again, the hadith of the night prayer, right? And it ends with saying that it is a barrier for the body against disease. Yes, specifically in Tirmidhi, it says even the night prayer is a barrier for the body for disease. And then Anas bin Malik reported that the Prophet, peace be upon him, said that when someone gets out of the house, if you need to get out for groceries or whatever the case may be, for medical supplies, right? Try your hardest, but if we have to leave the house, if we have to, right? You say, Bismillahi, tawakkaltu ala Allah, la hawla wa la quwwata illa billah. In the name of Allah, I trust in Allah. There's no might and no power but Allah. And then you go out, inshallah. And then when it comes to quarantine, Prophet, peace be upon him, 1400 years ago, La yuridu al-mumridu ala musih. The ill should not mix with the healthy. SubhanAllah. The Prophet, peace be upon him, had the foresight. He knew, right? But he said it in such a simplistic term. And so this is what we're saying now, the quarantine. Right? Umar bin al-Khattab left for Sham, and when he reached a place called Sarb, he came to know that there was an outbreak of an epidemic. You guys heard about this hadith. Then, he was told by Abdurrahman bin Auf that the Messenger, peace be upon him, said, if you hear the news of an outbreak of an epidemic, a plague, and some people are talking about if this is a plague or not, we're not going to get into that. But in a certain place, do not enter that place. And if the epidemic falls in a place while you are present in it, do not leave that place, escape from it. SubhanAllah, this is the guidance of the Prophet, peace be upon him, right? Before all the experts speaking. All right, my dear brothers and sisters, most of us know that there's 5 types of martyrs in this deen. Those who die in the cause of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, those who die because of falling buildings, those who die because of drowning, those who die because of abdominal disease or other diseases within the body, and those who die because of the plague, right? And so, the mindset of a believer is such that we always try to find opportunities. It's devastating, the news that is coming out from families and stories and whatnot about what's happening to them and their loved ones. But do not for one second think that they're not alive if they have gone to Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala already. Do not for 1 second think that they're not alive, because Allah says, وَلَا تَقُولُوا لِمَنْ يُقْتَلُ فِي سَبِيلِ اللَّهِ يَمْوَاتٌ وَلَحْيَاءٌ وَلَكِنْ لَا تَشْعُرُونَ. Do not say of those who are slain or die in the path of Allah that they are dead. No. Instead, they are alive, but you do not perceive it. وَلَنَبْلُوَنَّكُمْ بِشَيْءٍ مِّنَ الْخَوْفِ وَالْجُوعِ وَنَقْصٍ مِّنَ الْأَمْوَالِ وَالْأَنفُسِ وَالثَّمَرَاتِ وَبَشِّرِ الصَّابِرِينَ. Surely we will test you with a bit of fear and hunger and loss and wealth and lives and fruits, and give good news to those who are patient, right? So if I had stopped right there, that would have been nice, right? Okay, martyrdom, right? Go straight to, access straight to Jannah. No questioning, nothing, right? That's great. But guess what? What about the ones who are at home, right? Who are in their living rooms and who maybe some of them are getting more anxious now or depressed or don't know what to do. They're extroverts, so it's really difficult for them. Good news for you guys too, because the same hadith that talks about this plague, which again, you guys have heard over and over again, says something special. What does it say? أنه كان عذابا يبعثه الله على من يشاء فجعله الله رحمة للمؤمنين فليس من عبد يقع الطاعون فيمكث في بلده صابرا يعلم أنه لا يصيبه إلا ما كتب الله له إلا كان له مثل أجر الشهيد. That's right, my dear brothers and sisters. What is this hadith saying? The plague was a punishment with Allah that Allah used to send to those whom He wished. Anyone He wished, but Allah made it a blessing for the believers. Now, there are many commentators of this hadith and commentary of this hadith. Some scholars say it's a punishment if you go through something like this and don't return back to Allah. What else would it be? Allah's giving you such a big sign and you don't return back to Him. I mean, if that's not a punishment, and our scholars have said in the past, any calamity that brings you close to Allah is a blessing. And any blessing that brings you away from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, in essence, is a calamity, right? So some people take this hadith like this. And so the rest of the hadith says, none among the believers who remain patient in a land in which the plague has broken out and considers that nothing will befall him, number one, except what Allah has written. They're patient and they know that nothing is going to harm me. I take my precaution. I wash my hands. I listen to everything that I'm being told, right? But I know that only Allah, if Allah wills, the virus can enter me, right? And that Allah will grant him a reward similar to that of a martyr. SubhanAllah. SubhanAllah. Win-win situation, right? All right, guys, now coming to the topic. I hope I didn't take long for that, but cybersecurity awareness during COVID. Now, as I told you guys in the beginning, this is geared more towards the youth. Some of you who are in the field might find this a little rudimentary or elementary, and so just bear with us, inshallah, okay? Coronavirus World Map by John Hopkins. Now, I want some action on your end, guys. If you guys, maybe I can look at the chat. If you guys want to type in some of the countries you guys are from, some people are from Egypt, Syria, Bangladesh, Pakistan, whatnot, and then I could look at it because we're going to open up this world map, okay? All right, I already got some people chatting. Sudan, let's see if we got you on the map. So let me give you an introduction to this map. This map, John Hopkins University, amazing Coronavirus Resource Center. They came up with this. Whoa, slow it down, guys. Egypt, Pakistan, Turkey, Indonesia. Okay, hold on. They came up with this, and we saw this a week after it was shown to the public. Why? Because, and I want to talk to you about this before we get into this map. Hackers were actually hacking and trying to hack, not only hack, but mirror this website, because they knew that people are going to try to find all these resources online to go check, the data and statistics, total deaths, and, the confirmed cases and whatnot. And this was a pretty good map, as you guys can see. If you guys can see this map, subhanAllah, when I first saw this map at work, right, when we were told about it, the red was barely there, right? And now look at it, right? You can barely see the continents, right? Especially America, North America, subhanAllah. And so what happened was hackers were sending out links stating covidvirusmap.com or .org. People were clicking onto it, and then there was malware embedded in it. And once you click it, it will steal it's called credential stealer. Pretty much anything in your history or your cache, it'll take that, it'll take your information, and voila, everything goes downhill from there, right? So we were made aware of this, right? And we monitored this map. And so look at this. It says, and we know for sure that, all these statistics, they're not obviously either up to date or not fully factual because of the limitations and whatnot, right? So we know that very well. All right, 1,833,685 total confirmed, okay? All right, 113,000 has gone back to Allah. 2,688,000 total tested. Okay, now let's look at the chat box and see where some of you guys are from. Okay, first I saw Sudan. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let's see if this is working. Hold on. Sudan. All right, Sudan. South Sudan. 4? SubhanAllah. Okay, so far they're saying 4. All right. Someone said Egypt. 2,000 cases in Egypt, okay? Give me 1 second, hold on. Let's see, what's next? Let me see this chat box. People are going too fast, all right? India, let's see. And some of these statistics may be incorrect and whatnot. I'm just giving you, we have a bigger lesson to take than this. I mean, look at the numbers, guys. Just look at the numbers, 9,000 in India, okay? Let's go to US, okay? Guys, just give me 1 second, okay? All right, USA. All right, let's get into USA. Okay, so the United States was, all right. Look at that, guys. New York has the most, as you can see, right? Almost 6,898 deaths. That's what they're saying. Again, there might be new information. This was updated 4/12/2020. 2:46 p.m. Okay, Connecticut, where I'm originally from. Okay, 220 deaths. There actually might be more, but yeah. So look at this, guys. Let's see who else. Let's see. Okay. Who else did I miss? Canada. Okay, let's try Canada. Let's try Canada. Canada. Okay. Where's Canada at? Do we not consider them? Oh, there you go. 24,000 cases. 24,000 cases. Quebec, 714 deaths. So again, you guys can go, go ahead and verify that and whatnot. But I just wanted to let you guys know when this first started, it wasn't this red, right? And the other thing I want you guys to know, and this is why I'm having this session, guys, is that to be careful, to be really careful of what's happening online, because people are going to show you a sense of urgency. People are going to lure you to all these links and sites. And so that's the main point. I'm going to, let me see, who else is? Okay. All right, I'm gonna move forward with this, and then inshallah, I'll send you guys these links later on so you guys could browse more into and whatnot with your family and friends, okay? Just remember this, if you see something going around that is not from Johns Hopkins, or people are trying to mirror this site, right? Coronavirus.map, okay? When you Google it, right? Don't just click on anything, right? Unless you work in cybersecurity or incident response guy, and you know how to do these, actually, you know how to do investigations and whatnot, don't just willy-nilly click on these things, okay? So there you go. Now coming to Internet of Things. All right, guys. So we have some statistics by the Center for Cyber Safety and Education, Safe and Secure Online, all right? And pretty much what is their aim, okay? They're saying that while using the internet, you gotta make sure to aim to be a good digital citizen, right? So aim, A is acknowledge the risk, I identify signs for danger, M make the right decision, and L let's aim, all right? And when it comes to social media, especially our youth, okay, you need to know that stuff that you share online may stay online forever. Yes, if you share personal information, when you share it online, you can put your family and yourself in danger, right? Social media, what can you do to avoid this sticky situation? Set your social media profiles to private, okay? Understand that everything you post, again, even if you delete it, may stay online forever. Do not friend online strangers or try meeting them in person. Well, you definitely shouldn't try meeting them in person right now, obviously, okay? And secondly, you don't want to do that online either, all right? What else? Do not post information that is private, okay? Any personal PPI, personally identified information. And always think before you post. We got to do that, right? That's the mindset of the Muslim, right? We got to think before we speak. We got to think before we post, right? من كان يؤمن بالله واليوم الآخر فليقل خيرا أو ليصمت. We've already spoken about this hadith, that if you don't have anything good or beneficial to say, well, then just, stay quiet. Now, some of the scholars have said this has another meaning to it. It's not so much to keep you quiet, but it's more to have people think about saying good things, right? So to be encouraged to, whenever your mouth opens up, say good things. So some people take this hadith as, oh my God, you know what? And this is one of the hardest things to do. I mean, think about this. Say something good or remain silent. We've all failed in this. I don't care who you are, we've all failed in this, right? With our friends, families, mother, fathers, parents, children, we've all failed in this. So instead of taking it in a negative way, in a pejorative way, why don't we think about it in another light? Why don't we say, you know what? Every single time I open up my mouth, I'm going to say something beneficial. Every single time I open my mouth, I'm going to encourage myself to say something motivational and something inspirational. So think of it like that. Next thing, cyberbullying. U.S. children ages 12 to 17, 73%. Remember this statistic, hint, hint, it might be in the game. 73% report having been bullied at school at some point, and 34% have been cyberbullied, like online, okay? And 42.4% have endured both types of bullying. Now, I have a question for you guys, right? I don't know if this was the most recent one, especially during coronavirus. What do you guys think is going to happen during coronavirus? Seriously, right? When our youth are using on the internet more often, when even our parents, right, are using it more often, when now the youth have, they'll go in their room and they, hopefully they don't do whatever they want, whenever they want, but it's just going to increase, right? When it comes to gaming, I know a lot of us, right? A lot of the kids that we got into our youth halaqah, always talk about gaming and whatnot. Keep the chats relevant. Now, it's going to be hard to tell them not to chat with their friends, especially if they got the whole PSN thing going on and whatnot, right? Connecting online with their friends. Keep the chats relevant. Never provide personal, private, or secure information. Again, I'm stressing this fact. There's a reason why I'm stressing it. People are able to hack you, hack your game system, your devices, your phone, your laptop, anything you have, anything that has an IP, anything that they can hack it. They can take your information, right? Consider setting up private chats with known friends only. Never spend real currency in game without getting permission. You shouldn't be doing that anyways. So you better not be betting on any games, whether it's NBA or whatever you talk about, right? I know they got this whole currency thing going on, but when you pay, right, you can go up levels, right? And so I know the youth know what people are already trying. I only play and talk to friends online. That's great. We're going to come to you later, all right? So I don't get thrown off. But I know that. I know you guys, what you guys do, right? So we're just trying to give you some guidelines. That's all right? We're not trying to tell you to take it out of life, right? Respect age requirements on games, right? Yeah. Geotagging. Yes, guys, geotagging. Now, if this was like an interactive session, I'd ask you guys, what is this, right? But, pretty much you need to know that people can understand, they can pinpoint where you are, wherever you are, right? If you have certain things set up in your phone or your devices, predators and criminals can geotag against you, right? Strangers can approach you. They can know where you were, right? Especially if we go on our way and tell people anyways, like we checked in here and there, right? But make sure you stay vigilant when it comes to that as well. Secure your computer and personal information. Download stream from reputable sites. Get antivirus and keep it updated. Use strong password and multi-factor when available, right? And I'm pretty sure you guys know by now, right, what multi-factor is, right? It includes a combination of both methods. Let's say a combination of methods to get in. So you got your biometrics, you got your thumb or your finger, and then you also have a PIN or another code, right? Question what you see in pop-ups, emails, attachments. We're going to come to that soon, inshallah. The emails and phishing campaigns. Surfing the net, you know, wherever you go, they have certain certificates, right, that allow you to enter, make sure they have it. A lot of them will tell you. So kind of like, you know what, when it comes to internet, like we always give the example of cigarettes, right? They tell you on the pack, right, that, oh, this may lead to cancer, right? And sometimes we go to websites where it tells us not secure, right? And it also tells us doesn't have a certificate or it's out of, you know, date or whatnot, right? No visitors allowed, and we still go, right? Because the curiosity killed the cat, right? So both your internet browser and operating system should be updated regularly. So if you have something popping up wherever, you know, a legit place, obviously, which is embedded within your machine and whatnot, then update it, okay? Update your system often. Look for HTTPS, right? Hypertext, a transfer protocol secure. That's the thing that secures. We'll see HTTP a lot of the times that's used as well, but HTTPS, it gives you another, you know, again, layer of security that you should be aware of, okay? Double the websites you're on to make sure you got where you meant to go. And if you guys get anything out of my cybersecurity session, and I don't know when I was supposed to put this plug in anyways, but I'll say it right now just in case I forget. Write this down, guys. Okay, parents, if you guys aren't in the IT field and you don't know about it, write it down. If you're young, write it down because it's pertinent to everybody, especially in this time. Virustotal.com, virustotal.com, I think I spelled that right, yeah? .com, virustotal.com. Anytime you get a text message, anytime you get an email, anytime you get anything and it's a link and you're confused and you don't know and it's an unknown sender, guess what? Go straight to the website, put that link in, and it'll give you the reputation of that link. It'll tell you if it's malicious, suspicious, if it's something you can download. If you can't download, do that, okay? By the way, don't upload anything to that website. It gives you a chance to upload something. Just go to URL or people who know, they know the hashes. You can put in hashes too to figure out the reputation. But if you have a link, make sure you go there, okay? Don't open up the link unless you know for sure. All right, when it comes to, you know, you guys already know about the strong passwords, okay? This is you know, this is a good security measure, right? Uppercase, lowercase, add numbers and symbols like, you know, these symbols and punctuation like this, okay? Make sure to use passwords on all mobile devices and computers and always use multi-factor when available. For parents, specifically you guys, some tips, okay, from the cyber safety and education. Start early and keep talking. Don't be afraid to talk to your children. You know, son, come here, sit down, please. Daughter, come here, you know, say it with a smile, right? Chill with them, right? And while you're chilling with them, just say, you know what? You know, I gave you this tablet and I gave you that, but I need you to know these measures and whatnot, okay? Respect the age ratings, obviously. Set rules, use controls, teach password and privacy, what we're talking about today. Engage and learn together. It's fun. Sometimes we, subhanAllah, this is a lesson to the kids. You know, when we were young and we asked our parents questions about 1,000 times over, and now when our parents ask us how to use this and that 3 times, we get upset. Who do you think you are? Honestly, who do you think you are? When you were young and you question your dad about 1,000 times about, Dad, why this, why that, right? And he didn't get upset. And now he asks you to open up a social media for him or do this or do that. Maybe he wants to be your friend. I know my dad, my best friend online, right? And so we get upset. Check yourself, please. Monitor and communicate, okay? Protect your identity and location. Explain sexting. This is a very serious information. Sorry if I'm blunt, but you gotta follow what people are sending through pictures and whatnot. WhatsApp and all these stuff is very important. Once it goes through, it destroys your life, okay? But make sure, you know, and protect, update, and backup. I got it in Arabic for those who can read it, right? There you go, virustotal.com. Thank you, Sister Yasmin. You guys got my back. All right, let's recap, guys. Respect yourself and others. Use privacy setting. Report bullies and telling adults. Tell your parents. Tell those people who, you know, who can take it. You know, send me an email, okay? youth@mcclaimedmuslims.org. Online friends are still strangers. Be suspicious, okay? Don't share personal info, pictures online. Don't push your location. Keep in mind your safety. Make sure you have up-to-date antivirus. Only download from reputable sites. Create strong password. Okay. I hope you guys remember this, inshallah. And maybe I'll send you guys this presentation just for. All right. Coming to social engineering now for the adults. If there's family members, I hope there's family members watching this together, right? Social engineering, tactics by which hackers deceive and manipulate people to steal confidential or personal information for fraudulent purposes. This is in a layman's term, okay? Phishing campaigns, including phishing campaigns, okay? It's a type of social engineering attack often used to steal data. So they, and they impersonate either trustworthy organizations and or major financial organizations, and they'll take your information. It's like the recent ones, COVID-19 vaccine, stimulus check. People are doing great jobs as far as explaining stimulus check and when you're going to get it and who can get it, right? Who's it applicable to, who's it not? And they talk about vaccines and whatnot. But many hackers are using this time of vulnerability, of weakness, to hack people. Right? And this is what they do. This is what criminals do. This is what the evil people do. Right? In the time of weakness, they step on people even more. They kick them down while they're already down. So you guys have to understand that, right? You guys have to truly understand that. Give me 1 second, guys. I thought I locked someone out, but I didn't. Anyways, so second thing, phishing, fraudulent calls posing as reputable company to convince people to reveal personal information. These are calls, robocalls. They call you, right, and you get this at them. You get so upset at them, right? Most of us, I remember, I used to talk back with them. They're robocalls. The more you talk with them, the more information they have to steal from you, right? So don't talk back. Don't talk back to your parents or these robocops or robo fraudulent calls, right? Smishing is a form of phishing via texting or SMS messaging, which lures you to give your private information. Smishing can lead you to clicking links that direct you to malware and other harmful sites, okay? These come in the form of text. Oh, I've been getting these left, right, these messages. Sometimes I don't even open links that are sent via Facebook or my WhatsApp, even though they're known people, right? What I do, copy the link, go to VirusTotal, put it in, and then check that out. And listen, guys, I'm open to it. If any of you guys have a different site that checks reputation, let me know, all right? We're open to changing things around, okay? Be aware, again, what are things that you need to be aware of? External emails from unknown senders, okay? And there's a way you can do this, guys, all right? Check this trick out. If you hover over your subject or the header, you will see it matching the name, or you will see presence unknown. Sometimes it's something else, right? So that's right there and then you'll know that, wait a second, like first of all, it's coming from external. Secondly, it's not matching the name that it's coming in, right? And then you can do all these URL decoding and all that stuff later on in the header decoding. And so that's for another inshallah, but that's one thing you could do. Number two, do not click on any links and attachments, especially attachments, all right? Don't do that. So many people at work, they call us in the Cyber Defense Center. They're like, we clicked this without knowing. Oh, why did you click without knowing? Well, it's human, right? We can't really blame them, right? That's why we have testing every single month, right? Almost every week, sending them tests, right? Just so we can see how many people click, and 80 or more end up clicking it, right? It's just the human nature. We're so curious. We just want to click, right? But be suspicious, very suspicious when it comes to online interaction and online, all these, emails and whatnot. You'll see urgency in the subject header within messages. Found vaccine, get your vaccine soon. Your stimulus package was missing or whatnot, went to the wrong address. All these things that they get you, right? And right? And the humans are weak and we'll click it and we'll say, no way, I better get my stimulus check, right? And so that's how they get us, okay? Emotional tricks, PII, personal identifiable information, any sensitive data, including full name, SSN, social security number, driver's license, bank account, passport number, all of these things that you give out, guess what? Goodbye, seriously. Because once they have this, it's a wrap. And you gave it to them, right? So don't just speak to anybody and give all these information out unless it's verified, okay? I'm already mentioned hovering over the sender address and verifying the information, okay? Also check links and reputation. We spoke about VirusTotal. There you go, okay? I was ahead of myself. And think before you click. Think before you click. All right, now coming to the mental aspect, mental, spiritual, mental, emotional. And I suggest you guys all go to, inshallah, if you guys can, you know, Yaqeen has great stuff. I mean, there's great stuff everywhere. The FYI, Family Youth Institute, Yaqeen, because people cope differently. People like visual, some people like to read stuff, some people like to be given to them in a lecture form, right? So do your due diligence when it comes to, and especially if you're actually having issues or you know someone who's having, a mental breakdown or whatnot, call, and I give a link later on. Harvard has amazing stuff on their website. Speak to someone, okay? Speak to your doctor and whatnot. And this is not a session of me telling you what to do, how to act and whatnot. Just a reminder, right? Create space for, especially the youth, create space for your mental health, right? Fill your feed with positivity. You need to do that, right? The Prophet, peace be upon him, subhanAllah, he went through so much. He's always smiling, though, always smiling. That was his sunnah, right? You wouldn't even know what he's going through if he sat next to you, right? He literally filled his life with positivity, right? And so we got to follow that sunnah. Self-care strategies for resilience. Start a gratitude journal. Now, do we really need to? These are just reminders. You think that if you bought out a couple of journals and you wrote in every single page, you'll be able to fill in all the blessings that Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala has given you, right? No, you can't. But what is it for? It's for yourself. It's for you, so you understand. Again, like I said, we're weak. We forget, right? We become ungrateful, right? We always talk about what ifs. We don't ever talk about what is. So we have hot water and cold water. We don't say this is how it is, right? We look in our pantry and we say we don't have this, but we have so much, right? We always talk about what if this happens, what if that happens. Focus on what is. All my youth folks, all my youth gals and boys, right? Start your own journal, inshallah, okay? Prepare your favorite food, make your space comfy and cozy, right? Video chat with your friends and family, set boundaries for your media consumption, make a playlist of your favorite songs, I would say, share with your friends, tend to your mental health garden, tend to it, let the flowers grow, put the seed in your heart, put the seed in your mind, create ideas. I'm gonna come to that, inshallah, at the end, in my action list, okay? It's okay to feel your emotions. Yes, guys, brothers, it's okay. It's all right. It's okay to cry, all right? It's okay to say, you know what, I'm scared. It's okay to go to your mom and say, you know what, this is how I'm feeling. Sisters, you guys are better than us at this, right? Explaining yourself, guiding your emotion, channeling your emotion, right? So, alhamdulillah, but it's okay. You are not alone. If you need to text Salam to 741-741, this is from Sound Vision. They partner up with Crisis Text Line. Now, I went through the Crisis Text Line counseling, 200 hours of, I think it was for volunteering and whatnot. It's a great system, subhanAllah, right? So if you guys are actually, it's confidential 24/7, it's free, and they delete the data. I don't know if it's after a month or not, right? But if you're having issues and whatnot, go text them. Okay? How to grow spiritually, mentally, emotionally. Think about how often you think about Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. How's your Quran? At least 10 minutes a day? At least 5 minutes a day? What about a verse? Maybe a verse before you go to sleep? How many times that we opened up the Quran and Allah spoke to us? How many times before going to sleep, we opened up the Quran, landed on a verse, and we blindly picked the surah and Allah spoke to us? How many times? Yet we still fall far away from, like they say, it's, you think you're raising the Quran by putting it in your shelf. No, you raise the Quran by bringing it down to you, by bringing it to yourself, by bringing it close to you, by opening up the Mus'haf, right? And if you don't want to use the Mus'haf, your phone, right? What excuses do we have? Think about that, my dear brothers and sisters. Mentally, who am I? What do I need to work on? What am I great at? I got so much to work on. Ooh, this is the time of personal development, right? This is the time to figure out who I am as a son, as a father, as a brother, and this is, seriously, make use of your time. Find out about yourself. It takes a whole lifetime sometimes to find out who you are. Emotionally, am I good at coping? How do I react in times of distress? You'll find out, especially now. Allah puts us through tests just so we can find out what we're best at, So inshallah, remember that. Focus on things we can control, I'm not going to let my fears dictate my decision. No way. I'm not going to let, it's like we're like birds, right? Like the scholars say, the head is love for Allah, and one wing of fear and one wing of hope. Too much of each one will guide us the wrong way, right? So Remember that, okay? Don't let fear dictate your life, okay? Have a journal, enjoy a walk in nature if you can get out, right? Some of the states, they have more strict measures than others, but if you can walk, keep your distance, you know? Read a few pages of the Quran, comforting supplications. We went through them. Verbalize your fears to Allah and make them into meaningful du'as. Like, I really want to talk about this. You know, a lot of us are going through so much in our head. Nobody knows what's going on. And why don't we verbalize? Or why don't we have a conversation? You know, I'm going to share a secret with you guys, okay? Maybe I'm extending this more than I need to, but listen, guys. The other day, you know, I was thinking about all my friends and sometimes me going up to my shuyukh and saying, you know, what are some of the greatest du'as and whatnot, right? And so I found I found pretty much this really helpful, that you open up the Quran and you make a dua after every single verse you read. So Surah Al-Maryam, you go to that and then you'll find the Quran helping you out to make a dua. So try to do that, okay? Again, remember, no fatigue, nor disease, no sorrow, nor sadness, nor hurt, nor disease, distress befalls a Muslim, even if it were the prick he receives from a thorn, but Allah expiates some of his sins for that, okay? And again, we went through this dua, right? This is Harvard University's coping mechanisms for emotions, right? They have some great stuff. They really do have some great things in there. There's a link right there. If I share it, hopefully you guys can use it for those who are having trouble, right? Reaching out to people and whatnot. Okay, flattening the curve. This is one of my friends, Dr. Farhan Abdul Aziz. I got his permission to even share his beautiful face here, mashallah. We've heard about the flattening the curve. Let me quickly tell you about digits and stats. 327 million people in America. They expect half of the people to be affected, which is 165 million. Of that, they believe that 20% of them will end up in the hospital, which is 33 million. Of that, they believe that 5% will need ventilators, which is 8 million. And they say they have about 177,000 ventilators in USA, the whole of USA. You do the math, right? You understand the situation, and you let me know if this quarantining yourself is working or not, because alhamdulillah, people are already saying that it's working. Right? So when you ask the next time you fight or argue with your parents or someone else, or it's hard, even me, I wanted to go see my parents. Well, but I knew that we have to play our part in this. We have to flatten the curve. And inshallah, it's working, right? Okay, cool. We already know the situation, guys, okay? We do not want to be in this situation. Just look at the picture, all right? And then obviously stopping the spread of germs, continue to avoid contact with people who are sick, cough when you cough and sneeze, use a tissue, cover your face, don't touch your eyes, nose, and mouth, clean and disinfect frequently, stay at home when you're sick, even when you're not sick, wash your hands with soap, you know, for 20 seconds. Be prepared. كل نفس ذائقة الموت. You know what, my dear brothers and sisters, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, carefully, He doesn't say that every soul shall die. No, He says every soul shall taste death, because as believers, we don't believe that this life is it. No. We believe that death is the end of choice. It's not the end of life, right? So look at around you. Look at what people are going through, right? Look at those who are being put into their graves without any family members. And think to yourself, subhanAllah, the angels are there. Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is there. And now I truly need to engrave this in my head that anything could happen, or in my heart, anything could happen anytime. So let me fix my relationships. Let me do what I need to do before I go back to Allah. Action items, we're almost done, guys. Turning back to Allah, istighfar. Always have the mindset of a Muslim and preserve the Islamic etiquettes. Have cybersecurity, learn about cybersecurity awareness. Focus on your mental health. Connect to the Quran at least 15 minutes a day. Read, memorize, study tafsir, or simply listen to your favorite reciter. Be a source of goodness to your family. Reconnect with those who you lost touch with. Give charity for it takes away calamities. Write a legal will, estate planning. You know, talk about bequests, other wishes. Mend relationships. This is a big one. Mend with especially your primary family members, right? As soon as possible. Apologize to everyone, whether they were right or you were right. It doesn't matter. Forgive everyone. It would be such a loss to leave this world having people who are upset at you, right? I speak to myself first, obviously, right? Pay off all debts and loans to people. Do not hoard food or supplies more than what you need. Use your time to read or write a book. Work on projects for the future, right? You know, I'm working with the Rising Souls youth, and they have such great ideas, right? It is in the times of darkness where you have the brightest ideas, right? So, inshallah, write something, make a device, create a plan, right? Change the world globally, locally, however you can. Check on your neighbors and others who need assistance. And like I said before, contact me at youth@mcleanmuslims.org if you need assistance. And remember, one of the most beautiful hadith that, especially during this time, is whoever wants to increase his risk and to live a long life should honor ties with his blood relatives. Yes, right. I mean, just take a look at that. I want you to let it embed within you. Whoever wants to increase his risk, everything, his happiness, his wealth, his knowledge, right? His source of income, food, all this stuff, right? I often say, if you take the risk, Allah will grant the risk, right? All of these have some risks in it, right? When you lend a hand, when you go out to help someone, right? But Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala will give you a long life and increase your risk if you keep ties with your blood relatives, right? And whoever saves the life of one person, it is as if he has saved the whole of humankind. Yes. If you save the life of one person, it is as if you've saved the whole of humankind. Imagine on the day of judgment, you stand in front of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, and people, a whole herd of people are behind you, right? And Allah's like, you know what? You were a superhero. Because of you, all these people survived. And then one person steps up, and that person, by obviously Allah's help first, and then your help, they survived somehow, right? You didn't leave the house, right? And so someone wasn't affected. Or you're in the front lines, okay? Or you work in the grocery store, okay? And you fed someone and you helped someone, right? It is as if you saved the whole of man. And lastly, I want to share something personal, right? I'm actually, and I'm saying this so I could hold myself accountable and you guys could hold me accountable. I'm in the midst of writing a book myself of a lifetime of inspirational quotes. And I wanted to share a personal quote with you guys. I don't even know why I quoted myself, but no God, no peace, no God, no peace, right? And I have a bunch of quotes that inshallah, maybe in a year or two, if you guys get on my case and if you guys say, hey, Khairul, where's that book at? You know, if I don't provide that to you, then that's it. I hold no value. My words hold no value. Okay? So inshallah, no God, no peace, no God, no peace. This is the time to know Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If you know him, you will find peace, inshallah. And that is it.